Hey LAshX family, it's Mandy Jacobells here. I wanted to check in with you in this post-COVID time and see how everyone's doing. I want to acknowledge what fucking rock stars you are if you survived this whole COVID pandemic, businesses being closed. It's been a really hard time as a business owner to thrive through this period. So if you still have your doors open, good for you. You should feel really empowered and proud. I wanted to talk today a little bit about business, where we are right now in the lash industry, kind of post middle COVID, and where I see the industry going in the short term and how to plan business-wise. Where do we go from here? How do we move forward in this kind of Delta variant post-COVID world as people get vaccinated, things open back up, and business is ramping. It's really hard sometimes to know, do we invest more to grow right now? Do we hold out just in case something else is going to happen? So I wanted to touch on all that and just acknowledge what amazing people you are for surviving this. So right now, for most of our accounts, and when I say we, as a owner of LAshX, we manufacture products that we wholesale to thousands of accounts across the US and also in other countries. So we get to hear all these people's stories, and every state and country is kind of handling COVID a little differently and everyone's in a little bit different phase of the virus and how that's affecting their business. But in general, most businesses now are back open, not maybe at full capacity like we were pre-COVID, but ramping back up. Weddings are happening again as the vaccination rates go up. More and more events are starting to happen. We're going into holiday season. So we want to make sure that we're prepared for that, but also don't go crazy and overspend and put our businesses at risk, because there is that small unknown of traveling and the new variants that we hear about. And there's just a small percentage of, oh my God, what if something else were to happen and we're shut down again? So right now, my advice that I'm giving to most of our accounts is you do want to make sure you're stocked for the holidays. Make sure you have inventory. We want to make money while we can. This is typically our busiest season. Fourth quarter, going into holiday is our busiest time. There's typically more holiday events, more seeing family and people wanting to look good, and just a little more self-care. So we want to maximize our fourth quarter, make sure we have enough inventory for gift giving, small cash wrap purchases, but also not overextend where we're feeling like we're going to be stuck with a lot of inventory going into the new year. I do still anticipate January being a little bit on the slower than usual side after the holidays. It's hard to know, but I for my business, and I'm advising the accounts that I coach to hold back a little bit. If you have vendors that will allow you to buy inventory now, and if you have stuff left over after holiday season, send it back at no risk, or do a consignment or do a drop ship, I'm advising to take advantage of those tactics so you could be fully stocked but not too heavily invested in inventory. Because as many of you probably dealt with when we were shut down, inventory goes bad, especially in skincare, and we don't want to have too much on our shelves in case there is ever another shutdown. We always want to kind of hope for the best, but also be a little prepared for the worst. So hopefully that makes sense as far as holding back a little on inventory, but making sure you're stocked. Also work with your vendors, see if they can fast ship you stuff so you can just keep ordering kind of as needed. Okay, so what does it look like in the coming months? So we talked about this quarter in January, and then what does 2022 look like for the lash industry and beauty industry in general? We are seeing increase in sales. The economy is actually right now doing really well. We are expecting inflation. We've seen it a little bit with gas prices. We've seen it with supply chain issues. Cost of our supplies and things are going up. So how does that affect you? And you want to think about, if you do need to raise prices, how you'll do that without alienating your clientele and still maintaining a good profit margin to be able to keep your business running. I really recommend strategy-wise, if you're going to try to increase prices on services, you add something of value. So clients feel like they're getting something extra and not just having the prices raised on them. One way to do it, like when people switch to our brand from another lash brand, they let them know it's $50 more for their touch-up, but their lashes are going to last twice as long. So that in that case, the client's saving time and money, but the professional's able to increase their hourly rate to cover their time. Because as pros that are doing services, our most valuable and scarce resource is our time. There's only so many hours in the day. So you want to make sure that you're maximizing your time. The other strategy is layering services. So we have a video coming up soon that's going to show how to do the lash lift and the brow lamination in tandem. So you could actually double your service charge for the same amount of time. There's always lash lifts, tints, brow lams, tints that you could do all together. And now you're charging, 4 times as much for the same amount of time in your room. So you want to think about how can I maximize my time and maximize my revenue without necessarily just raising a price on a client, which might alienate them. Other suggestions would be, special packages that they're getting maybe more, but at a higher rate to ensure that you're being able to cover the added cost in shipping, rent, all the things that are going up right now with inflation. The other strategy is to maximize the clients you have rather than investing on trying to bring in a lot of new clients this season. The clients that are already coming to you that know, trust you, love you, have been with you, try to maximize with them on product sales and services by maybe adding some new services to the menu, maximizing what they get done when they come in, rather than expending a lot of time, money, and energy into trying to bring new people in this kind of unsettled time. And again, if you're in Florida or Texas and things are business as usual, this may not apply to you. I know here in California, we still have a lot of clients that are being cautious, and some haven't come back to lashing. A lot of people are also taking on more natural looks because they don't want to maintain something like lashes. So we've seen a huge uptick in lash lifts, lash tints, brow laminations. And so those are great. If you're not already offering those, definitely you want to think about adding those to your menu. I'll put a link in our show notes for our online course if that's something you wanted to get certified in. So the last thing I wanted to bring up that's a little bit different challenge for us as well is we're seeing anticipated shipping delays. If you haven't already experienced them, they are probably going to happen. So making sure that you order the necessary supplies and products you need to get through the holidays so you're not in a scramble or paying to rush ship, because we are seeing supply chain issues throughout the country, at least in the US, and I think probably everywhere, with just bottleneck at the shipping docks and other shipping delays. So make sure you have backstock enough to get through the season, but don't overly stock up on things where you feel like you're gonna have a cash flow issue. Overall, I just wanted to thank you guys for being loyal LAshX family members and say I'm so proud of all of you for killing it. We at the LAshX family wish you all a happy, healthy, and safe holiday season. Please reach out with any of your needs. We'll see you soon.